Welcome back to Market Fatafata show, where we are highlighting all the stocks that are buzzing either on the back of the news flow or on the back of the technicals. We have a team of researchers as well as analysts. So let me welcome on board Dhwani Patel onto the technical side. And very good afternoon, Dhwani. We are coming directly to you for your first counter, that is Century Ply. How are you seeing the move of this particular counter, and will that be a buy from these levels?
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. Century Ply definitely looks good at current price juncture, for the reason being the stock is moving above its 50-period exponential moving average and taking a support there. The stock is showing some momentum on the short-term time frames also over here. From current levels, one can go long into it. The upside target over here technically is coming at 690, and the stop loss that one needs to maintain over here is 630.
Alright, so that's the view coming in on Century Ply. But let's move on. Harsh, let's talk about Max Financial. It had a huge block deal take place yesterday, or sizable block deal actually take place in yesterday's trading session. Tell us more about it.
Well, yes, Cheryl. So largely in focus because of that block deal, as you correctly pointed out, 3.6% shares exchanging hands at 873 rupees a piece. What we did see is that the promoter, which currently owns roughly 10.2% of the company, through one of its subsidiaries, as well as of course individually, but through one of its subsidiaries, Max Ventures Investment Holding Private Limited, has gone ahead and sold around 1.25 crore shares in Max Financial Services. Now mind you, Max Financial owns Max Life. That's the predominant part of the Max Financial business, and that is where the business derives value from. In terms of the buyers, several, both domestic as well as international, you saw the likes of a Plutus Wealth buy around 12.5 lakh shares. We saw Kotak Mutual Fund, Kotak Life, HDFC Life, Morgan Stanley Singapore, IMF, Nippon India, all of which were the buyers. All of them made it to the buyers list for Max Financial. And of course, the seller being the promoter himself, 3.6% stake divested.
Alright, moving on, let's talk about a stock that is perched at a 10-year high, and that is DB Realty for you. If that particular counter, if you look at the stock performance, it saw an uptick of as much as 3%. It has actually given up all of those gains right now. It's trading lower by about 1.3%. The company said that it's selling its entire stake in Royal Nasra Constructions, and they will be disposing of the shares in that particular entity at a share price of around 2,600 rupees per share. So post that announcement, you saw DB Realty stock see a spike and hit a 10-year high on an intraday basis. Now it's trading lower by about 1.3%.
Okay, moving on, and let's just focus to Electra Green Tech, because this EV counter is seeing no stopping. And Dhwani, after the stellar move that we have seen in this counter, as well as JBM Auto is one of the peers, but especially for Electra Green Tech, what are the next targets that are coming on your radar?
So the stock has already been in focus for the exponential up move that it has shown in the past few months. Currently also the stock is again a good point to enter into. It's a buy on dips strategy that one has to use in this particular counter. From current levels, one can go long into it. The stop loss for this particular long trade comes over here at 1170, and a target of 1420 is achievable on the same.
Alright, Harsh, let's put the spotlight on KPI Green. Why is this one in your list?
Well, alive and buzzing after receiving a completion certificate from the Gujarat Energy Development Agency for a 4.1 megawatt wind solar hybrid power project. 2.1 megawatts was the hybrid project, and 2 megawatts is the solar capacity. Now, largely, of course, this is a positive for KPI on the back of that approval that comes through. And of course, it will start impacting the financials as well. And you can see 5% uptick on KPI on the back of that.
Okay, moving on, let's shift focus to Paytm then. That's the newsmaker for today, because this particular counter has seen big block deals, and we knew about this block deal. Why so? Because Anfin was likely the seller in today's block deal, wherein we have seen some block deals happening. Talking about the block deal that happened today, wherein 3.8 3.8% equity was seen to be changing hands, and the stock was seen to be climbing in today's trading session at the start of the day, wherein Anfin was the likely seller. They actually sold 3.6% stake. That's 2.275 crore shares of Paytm at a floor price of 880 rupees, which was decided, and that was the block deal alert, which actually was at a discount to the price which we have seen yesterday. But the stock opened itself in green because Anfin has been selling stake, because last time also we have seen Vijay Shekhar Sharma acquiring 10.3% stake in the company from Anfin earlier this month, which now holds around 19.42% stake in the company. But with today's block deal of further selling by Anfin, we have seen the stock investors taking it positively, and Paytm is still holding itself in green.
All right, so that is Paytm for you. We're awaiting the list of the buyers in that particular block deal. And remember, post this block deal, Anfin's stake in the particular entity will reduce below 10%. But let's talk about the flashes on the bottom of your screen, because you have Indus Towers that is in focus, because you have Citi that's come out on note with a note on Indus Towers, and as you can see, the stock is also reacting to that note. They are maintaining a buy stance on Indus Towers with a target price of around 210 rupees per share. They are saying they are opening upside 90-day catalyst watch, and they are saying the positive catalyst watch is predicted on 3 triggers, and the triggers are: one is likely completion of Vodafone Idea's much delayed fundraise, because you have a report in Economic Times indicating that actually today. Also, they are expecting potential commencement of Indus past dues being gradually cleared by Vodafone Idea, and also potential reinstatement of dividends on free cash flow generation. So they are seeing 3 good positive triggers for this particular counter. Therefore, they are maintaining a buy stance on Indus Towers with a target price of 210 rupees per share, and that's Indus Towers for you, trading higher by about 1.6% as we speak right now. Shrishti.
Okay, moving on, and let's shift focus to another stock, starting with the alphabet I, that is Indiabulls Housing Finance. No stopping since the start of the day. It also has a news flow, but especially on the technicals, Vani, wanted to understand that how are the charts looking like for Indiabulls Housing Finance, because the stock is now sitting at a gains of 6.5%. So where are the next stocks?
So the stock has been on the technical radar since quite some time now. The stock has given a golden crossover earlier this month, where we had seen the 50-period moving average crossing above the 200, and post which we've also seen a breakout in the stock coming at 133 levels, after which there was no stopping for the same. The stock did show some sideways consolidation in the past few sessions, but today what we are witnessing over here is it is being amongst the top gainers in the FO segment, and it's also at a new breakout level where 170 is a breakout level, post which one can enter into it. Initial targets over here come up at 180, and 193 is also not a surprising number if we see on this particular counter in the near term future. The stop loss one needs to maintain over here for the breakout is going to be of 158.
All right, let's move on. And Ashesha, let's talk about Birlasoft, and why is this one in focus today?
Well, yes, initiating coverage note has come in from Nomura, where they've initiated coverage with a buy rating and a target price of 610. The stock currently, as you can see, is trading at about 484 levels, indicating a 25% upside from the current market price. Nomura also says that the ongoing organizational changes will drive stability and revenue growth for the company going forward. Company has made significant improvement in its business metrics over the last few years. They expect some more clarity with respect to company's vision of $1 billion revenue. Perhaps it could come in the coming couple of weeks, but they expect Birlasoft to head towards industry-leading growth in the time going forward. So, positive note coming in, initiating coverage from Nomura with a target of 610. The stock is rallying in trade today, over 2% higher in trade.
Okay, moving on, and Dhwani, Piramal Enterprise is the counter that you have picked up, and interesting to see that at one point in time the stock was high as much as 5%, but now seen to be drifting lower. So what are you spotting on the intraday basis, and also on the long term? We have seen a phenomenal run up. So on which side are you?
So we've already seen the stock take a good run up over here from 650 levels to 1100 level. When we are going backdate into the chart, what we are seeing is 1100 has earlier acted as a resistance, and it's time to book your profits in this particular counter, because 1100 over here also on derivatives data is suggesting that there will be some resistance acting out in this counter near the same levels. When we break 975, we are expecting further fall coming in on this counter, moving down to 900 rupees. So it's time to book your profits in this particular counter from the current rate.
All right, so that's Piramal Enterprises for you. Harsh, coming to you. Tatva Chintan is a counter that you're tracking. What's the news surrounding this particular stock?
Well, yes, fundraise. In fact, that was approved back in earlier this year, June, July, and 200 crore fundraise is what Tatva Chintan has now confirmed. What they're suggesting is that it's going to be an equity fundraise, QIP. So there'll be qualified institutional buyers and only eligible ones, which they seem to have already identified. What also is the understanding is the floor price for the issue is fixed at 1704.74 based on yesterday's price of the company. And also one more critical piece is that there is bandwidth for the management to give a 5% discount on that price to issuer or to investors, proposed investors, possibly going into the issue as well. So largely that's what's keeping the stock in focus. The stock is up 1% and the fund should help. Now mind you, one more piece here is also that the stock had IPO'd a couple of years back at 1,080 odd rupees a share. So definitely a very healthy gain already being seen on the stock.
Okay, moving on to and shifting focus to one of the banking names, that is ICICI Bank. For the past 2 to 3 days, despite the fact that Bank Nifty was drifting lower, Dhwani, this counter was showing resilience. But for today, what are you spotting on ICICI Bank? Hopes on recovery, and once again seeing the stock near to that 1,000 levels?
Yes, absolutely. This counter has maintained its strength whenever we have been seeing some down moves coming in on the banking index. Currently also when we are looking at the chartical structure of ICICI Bank, the daily structure is also trailing right now. The price action is above its 50-period exponential moving average. Even the RSI on a shorter time frame is giving us a positive crossover here. So one can definitely go long into this counter. The stop loss over here comes at 960, and one can expect short-term targets over here at 995.
All right, let's shift focus. Let's talk about GMR Airports. That is in focus in today's trading session. And the reason why GMR Airports is actually lagging in today's trading session is on back of a note that's come in from Kotak Institutional. And they have actually gone ahead and downgraded the stock to a sell from an ad rating. And they are citing constraints in the cash flows. They are saying the downgrade comes after 40% rise in the stock over the past few months. And they are seeing that the stock has turned actually expensive post the recent rally. What they are also noting is that while there is a strong case for an investment in the airports in India, the constraints on cash flow for the reinvestment or for GMR is actually limiting their optimism on that particular counter. So therefore, they've downgraded the stock right now to a sell rating from an ad rating, and as you can see it on your screen, the stock is trading lower by about 3.6% as we speak.
Okay, moving on, and let's shift focus to BEL, because this counter and all these defense-related counters have been in focus. But why BEL specifically? Because Defence Acquisition Council has approved proposals worth 7,800 crores to enhance the operational capabilities of the armed forces, wherein DAC, that is Defence Acquisition Council, has granted accord of acceptance of necessity, that is AON, for the procurement and installation of electronic warfare suite on Mi-17 V5 helicopters, and the EW suite will be procured from Bharat Electronics Limited. So that's the news flow coming in on BEL. The stock did open in the green, but with the markets is seen to be drifting, but nevertheless is down about 0.2% for entry.
All right, that is BEL and the rest of the defense pack that is in focus. But Dhwani, come Friday, PVR, do you think that this one is going to, PVR Inox, I now stand corrected, 6 month 8% uptick, and especially the most of that uptick that the company or the stock has seen has been over the last 2 weeks on the optimism of these new releases that have come in. Do you think that PVR will be able to sustain this momentum going ahead?
Yes, absolutely. What we are seeing chartically over here is 1730 to 1740 is a good breakout zone for this particular counter. One can definitely go long on this counter, keeping a stop loss over here at 1720 rupees. The stock has been showing some strength on this short-term pattern also over here. Once we witness a breakout over here, closing above 1740 will confirm on that thing. And positionally, the target over here extends up to 1920.
Okay, those are the targets that you need to be watching out for. Cheryl, doesn't feel like this week is going to be that exciting for PVR. Any weekend plans?
No weekend plans actually, maybe a lot of weekend plans actually. Shashi not going to disclose it out late, but definitely not watching a movie this weekend.
Okay, but let's just focus then to the power space. This space has been buzzing, and Ashesha from the pack, you have picked up Power Grid. Tell us what's the news flow on this counter.
Well, yes, the sector has been buzzing for the entire week, and today Power Grid is in focus on the back of a note from Morgan Stanley, where they've maintained their overweight stance on the stock. But they've gone ahead and hiked their target price from their earlier target price of 258. Now the revised target price stands at 278. They say transmission sector ordering is expected to pick up pace from here on, and probably that will aid growth for the company going forward. They say that the company is also diversifying into smart metering, which should aid its bottom line going forward. Positive note coming in, the stock of course is not reacting much, but Morgan Stanley has maintained its overweight stance with a target price of 278.
Alright, let me just mark the flashes on your screen and we will have more lines updated. But what's the news that we're picking up from Wire Agency is a source-based news as of now, is the fact that the government is considering a new policy in order to lower the EV import taxes for companies that are also making cars locally. The government, what the sources are saying, the government is considering lowering EV import tax to as low as 15% versus 10% on some, versus 100% on some cars as of now. And they're planning to lower import tax on EV comes after Tesla actually pushed for a policy change for the manufacturer. So we know that Tesla has been wanting to enter India, but yes, the fact that we have also seen a high import tax as well, that has been a deterrent as well, and government has been pushing that these companies that come in, they need to manufacture locally, isn't it?
Well, yes, absolutely, sure. This is going to be a big news. Why so? Because 100% was the import tax, and a lot of companies have come up with the concerns, and especially these luxury car makers, which actually import their cars, and people have to pay higher prices. That could be a good push, and we also need to look out for stocks like Landmark Cars, which actually sell those luxury cars in India, and the sales could actually have a good push if these cars get lower import on these ones. So definitely a good news for the EV car industry. More updates to come.
Absolutely. So some other pointers that are there in the news report is one of the fact that Tesla had pushed for India EV import tax policy change and the proposed duty tax cut for EV makers who commit to invest in India, and also government is considering plan vary of impact on the local players. However, Tesla has expressed interest in India plant for cheaper EV as well. So yes, an important news coming in, especially for car makers in India as well, isn't it? Like the likes of Tata Motors also will be an interested player in this, isn't it?
So Cheryl, Tata Motors already has all of this EV manufacturing in India. This will be a negative for Tata Motors.
It's a negative, that's why it's a negative for Tata Motors. And as you can see, the stock is actually taken a nosedive on back of this particular development. As you can see, that given the fact that they're going to lower the import tax for players to enter India, make cars locally, it will actually definitely impact their Indian players.
And even M&M is seeing a nosedive because they have come up with their first EV car. They have plans for EV Thar as well. So this is going to be a negative because as more and more interest is coming in the EV space, we have seen from the likes of the same. But especially for Tata Motors, who has more than 80% of the market share in the EV segment, and M&M, who is the next big contender, Maruti still has some time to come in the EV space.
Yes, it has some time to come into the space. Yes,
so big news to follow.
Yes, absolutely. If you look at Tata Motors, right from positive territory, it has gone to the negative territory. 1.3% downtick coming in on Tata Motors at this point in time, on the fact that the news that we're picking up from wire agencies, the source-based information right now, is the fact the government is considering lower EV import tax to as low as 15% versus 100% on some cars as of now. And this particular plan to lower the import tax on EVs is coming after Tesla has pushed for policy change for manufacturers, given the fact that they want to actually come in and build in India as well.
Okay, that's the news flow about the EV space, but let's move on. And like we were talking about the power grid segment, so Ashesha, would you take us through what's happening in the with power grid?
Well, yes, Power Grid is in focus on the back of a note that has come in from Morgan Stanley, where they are maintaining their overweight stance on the stock with a revised target price of 278. Earlier, the target price was 258, and they have now revised it to 278. They say transmission sector ordering is expected to pick up from here on, which could probably aid growth for the company going forward. They are also diversifying into smart metering, which should aid the bottom line of the company. So on the back of this note that has come in, the stock is in focus.
Okay, moving on to the next counter then, and Harsh, take us through what's happening with Zomato, because this counter has been zooming for the past so many days now, but today it's down about 3.5%. Any news flow there?
Well, yes, there's a block deal coming through on Zomato. 51 lakh shares seem to have been exchanged in the morning. Of course, details are waited. And 51 lakh shares is not a really big deal. It's less than around 0.1% of the share capital of the company. So clearly it's not a very big deal, but despite that, you can see the stock is sinking 3.5%. So really need to wait and watch as to who has sold and who has bought.
Right, that is the matter for you. Another one that actually saw a huge block deal take place in today's trading session. But Dhwani, green panel, how is this one looking on the charts to you?
So there are multiple technical indications over here on green panel. First of all, what we are seeing on a daily chart over here is a cup and handle formation, where we are witnessing a breakout of the same, and the depth of the cup over here is coming close to 30%. So that is the kind of a move that we are expecting on this counter. It's going to be a positional trade over here in this particular counter. From the current levels, one can go long into it. The targets for a period of next 6 months extend over here at 460 levels. Stop loss over here on a conservative side has to be maintained at 330.
Okay, moving on to the next counter then, let's shift focus to Keynes, because this particular counter is up at almost as 8% after they have signed an MOU with the government of Karnataka, where an MOU for an investment of 3,750 crores to set up a semiconductor assembly and testing facility and printed circuit board manufacturing plant through its sets down subsidiary, and that's the big news coming in on Keynes Technologies. Definitely taken as positive, and the stock is holding a gains of around 8%.
All right, so that is Keynes for you. But with that, we are totally out of time on this edition of Market Fatafat. Thank you so much, Dhwani, as well as Amar, Ashesha, as well as Harsh for joining us on the show and taking our viewers through all the stocks that are moving in trade. And with that, we come to the end of this week's edition of Market Fatafat as well. So it's a goodbye from Shrishti, myself, producer Snehi, as well as our director Trevor. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week.